stage after dinner speaker. I just want to say a little bit about her. Karen Friendship, Managing Director, Alderman Tooling, which is one of the Southwest's leading bespoke metal fabricators. It's a 50-strong team. The 50-strong team laser cuts, turns, welds, paints and assembles all kinds of industrial metalwork, from server cabinets for the world's most famous social network, to clothes and accessory stands for Ralph Lauren, and even a giant bun trays for Plymouth Gin. Alderman's is a true Plymouth success story. Formed in 1969, the family-owned company has grown and thrived due to its commitment to customer service, quality and investment in its team and the latest technologies. Appointed as Managing Director in 2005, Karen has made staff training and development a priority, whilst tirelessly focusing on stabilising the business's cost, productivity and profitability, doubling the balance sheet and managing an intense capital improvement programme. As a STEM ambassador, person after my own heart, Karen strongly supports STEM education and mentoring and promotes best practice and skills development by working in close liaison with colleges and universities and her local manufacturing sector in the South. Please join me in welcoming Karen Friendship to share more of her story with you.
So I am going to be quite swift going through all this, but I have to do the Chris Whitty thing and do the next slide, please. Great, it's working. So there's only two things that's all troubling us, well, many things troubling us at the moment, but I can pretty much guarantee there's two things that's on everyone's plate, which is skills, shortage skills, and supply chain issues. I'm going to be talking about the first one, but before we do that, I just want to talk a little bit about Alderman's, and I make every apology for plugging us, but I want to show you our company corporate video. But the business has been around for 52 years, and I was just talking on our table about any photographs that you have from when you started and in your business, inside, the people, just cherish them because they are so valuable. This is one in the top left. We wrote an autobiography on my father about 5 years ago, and I'm so glad I did that because actually I found out new stuff about my father that I didn't know before. And I've been in the business now 20 years, and obviously I've known him all my life. But the little blonde girl there is me with my sister when my father and my mum built this industrial unit from ground up, and obviously we moved into different premises. So this is just a snapshot of the books index. Next slide, please. So yeah, big heritage in Plymouth, and along the way we've bought new premises, new factories, new machinery, and I joined back somewhere in the middle there. So I did a lot of the spending of the money bit. But it did all start with an apprenticeship and a dream, and that was my father's. And he did a tool making apprenticeship back in the 60s. He moved down from London and came down here and finished it at Calumet in Plymouth, which was a big employer at the time. And he still worked on his tools every day until he retired. Next slide, please. Great, that's what we look like now. And next slide. I want to show you this video. It's 3 minutes worth, and it just then tells you all about what we do, and it's just much more efficient than me telling you about what we do. Hi, I'm Karen Friendship, Managing Director of Alderman Tooling. The story begins in 1969 when my father, Bill Alderman, began offering toolmaking services to Plymouth manufacturers. This grew into design and production of metal parts, and our capabilities have increased ever since. What you see here is one of the most comprehensive metal engineering facilities in the Southwest. Within our office, you'll speak to Paul, Gemma, Kai, Barry, Greg and Roz in accounts. The team meet regularly to discuss all projects and would be happy to help you with any inquiry you may have. Our tool room enables us to design and manufacture tools for high volume components, as well as catering for smaller volumes. With our 2 automatic bar-fed lathes, we are able to turn volume components from 20mm bar stock, as well as billets up to 200 diameter. This has been the best investment we've made, constantly operating day and night.
Our most recent investment has been within our laser cutting and profiling department, where we have a tower-fed fibre laser. It operates the most up-to-date software, enabling high-speed programming to be turned around from the office, and it can also run lights out. In addition, our C1 combination machine is able to combine 2 processes in one for speed and cost effectiveness, punching out shapes and laser cutting where the edge quality is important. Our production team, headed by Shane Heaney, ensures our jobs are progressing well and the booking of jobs are accurately recorded. Our press brakes offer folding capabilities up to 170 tonne and 3 metre wide, and software for offline programming enables us to operate round the clock. Once parts are cut and folded, they can be welded in our suite of welding bays. Our quality supervisor, Tony McEwen, ensures parts are within spec and tolerances are met. We are proud to be triple accredited with ISO 9001 Quality Management System, Environmental and Health and Safety accreditation. For any products requiring finishing, they come here to the powder coating shop and then on to final kitting and assembly. The parts and assemblies we make here become specialist seating, railway maintenance products, automotive components, metal signage, and retail fit-outs. We serve a diverse market. We like to say, if it can be made in metal, we can do it. So that's our factory and our team. Thank you for joining us, and if you have any fabrication quotes, we would be delighted to help you.
Great stuff. Of course, if this job doesn't work out, I'm going to do a voiceover job because I think that thank you. Next slide. Great. We did that back, luckily pre-COVID, so actually I was able to show a lot of customers around the factory without actually, through COVID, without them coming into the premises. But actually, I've spent a lot of time working on the people side of the business, which actually was so lacking when I joined. But you can see that if you create the right environment, you create the right atmosphere, you create that learning opportunity for people to develop whatever they've got into the best they can be, you're amazed at what the outputs and the results can be. Next slide, please. So we talk about ourselves, and I did this exercise a couple of months ago, and we're actually a 5-generational business. Now, I'm hoping that your eyesight's pretty good. We've got everything from the silent generation, so that's people born under 1945, baby boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Generation Z. And what I did is I had a look at the demographics and the portfolio of all the team members that we had. So I'm going to do a little exercise. I'm going to make sure that you're awake. Anyone in the silent generation? No, didn't think so. Baby boomers? They're probably in bed. Show of hands. It's not too bad, not too bad. Gen X? Okay, that's a bit more like it. And what about millennials? Yeah, got all the youngsters now. Right. Who's Gen Z? Yeah. So it's a very common split. Obviously, we're more up at this end, but we're very proud of the fact that we've also got some heritage. Obviously, one of them is my father, which obviously is more of an advisory role, but we do have a 75-year-old working for us 3 days a week. He is fit as a butcher's dog. He still cycles into work every day, those 3 days, and it's fantastic. But you can see some of these traits that these generations have, and we sometimes overlook the fact that, oh my goodness, I've got to be able to communicate to those silent baby boomers, and also the youngsters. And how do we do that as business leaders? How do we do that, with our tech? How do we communicate? And how do they learn? They probably. I look at my children, and they learn very differently to what I learn. We're on chalkboards, and projectors. They're all on Teams. They get their homework set on Teams, and I'm looking at more tech every night just to see what homework we've missed. But you can see that things that they fret about is not the things that we fret about. The key life questions, things like will I be able to afford to retire, baby boomers, to what's a career, the millennials, to Generation Z, what's a landline? Everything from social network, okay, Rotary Club, down at one end, right through to Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Are we using it? Certainly we're using them today, aren't we? We're looking at our QR codes. Paper is dying out, and we've got to replace it with something. We've got to actually connect with our whole workforce. So it was a really interesting exercise to do. You might want to go back and do it yourself and just see, you know, how we behave and how we communicate, how we teach, how we train, how we mentor our whole workforce to make sure that they can still be the best they can be. But really interesting exercise. Thank you. So part of it, next slide please. Great. Is communicating, and actually I did a lot of this. I did a lot of thinking over the last 18 months about our culture, our communication, our values, and we had to change it. We had to adapt. We had to pivot. We had to do all those things. And you know, I want to make sure that our business leaves a legacy of what we are, you know, what we feel, what our soul is, way after I've gone. So actually setting up these values, you know, was really important. But of course, you know, you're talking about engineers with, you know, scruffs on and we're picking up components every day. They don't understand what it means, but actually we try and embed this in everything we do, our recruitment, our ADRs, you know, even our exit interviews. So you know, we make it. We make product. We make it happen. We make it brilliantly. We make it together, but also make it fun, because actually we're in work a long time, and if you can't make it fun, it's going to be quite tiring work. So all of that, you know, gives you your culture and your values. But you know, it's all about engaging them, mentoring with your team, training them, and also, you know, being able to retain them. And I would say that it's proving some really good results for us at the moment. You know, at the moment we don't have any vacancies. We've got the right number of people, and we've got very low staff turnover. Next slide, please. But just wanted to share in the room tonight, and it's fantastic accolade to be here tonight, and I'm very honoured that Jim asked me to speak. But if you're in the room, whether you've been shortlisted, whether you've been you know, runner-up, whether you're a winner, or whether you're just here with your team, you know, you're here because your company thinks they're very proud of you, and actually that should be celebrated as well. Apprentices are our lifeblood. It's where my father started. It's where my future management team are. So these chaps on the right-hand side, they did their apprenticeships possibly 5-10 years ago. That's actually my future leadership team. You know, they've not got PhDs in anything. It's nothing complicated. They know how the shop floor works, and they're really good with people. And on the left, there's some of our youngsters that we've recruited last year and this year. Kieran actually joined us in January as a Make UK Kickstart placement. And we were honoured to have him, and he's now we've moved him onto a machining apprenticeship as well. So it's a real success story. So we're very grateful for Make UK to help us to find him. But there are opportunities everywhere. You know, you just don't look sometimes in the traditional places, recruitment agencies, you know. So, you know, these are young people. The Kickstart programme was set up obviously by the government for under 24-year-olds to anyone that's on universal credit. So maybe that haven't had a great start in life. But we also recruit ex-offenders and give people work placement opportunities, because actually once you give people chances, they work really hard for you. Thank you, next slide. We do lots of surveys, we do pulse surveys. Obviously, you know, if you've got Office 365, there's loads of stuff on there. Oh my goodness, I love forms. So we do surveys a lot. And if you've heard of the Net Promoter Score, I would go away and recommend having a go. You'll see this question in every survey that you probably fill in yourselves. It's that, how likely is it that you will buy this product? How likely is it that you will work for this company? And so we embed this question in a survey every few years. And it actually measures those that are with you, those that are just hanging around, and those that are, you know, maybe fighting against you a little bit with your vision, with your values. So, you know, if you're scoring 9 and 10 out of 10, you're a promoter. If you're 8 and 7 or 8 out of 10, you're a passive. So those are the ones that, you know, they won't fly the flag for you, but they won't, you know, say anything bad about you. The detractors are the ones that will probably openly admit, and you probably have them, and you know who they are already in your business, and they're the detractors. And how I explain this to people is, if you're in the rowboat together, they're the ones that are pedaling, you know, rowing backwards, and all the promoters are going forward. So if you've got a positive direction, that's a good score. But we're really proud, actually. We did the score last year, you know, because I actually wanted to know how well we fared through COVID. You know, did we do well? Could we have done things better? Could we, you know, done things a bit differently? And what else can we improve on? And actually, I was really pleased with the result. And we had a good return rate as well. Thank you. So, also in June, we did a bit of a photo shoot, and I had every intention, which is what most people do with marketing, pictures of the machines. They look great, they go up and down, maybe some video clips as well. And what I found myself doing is actually going around the shop floor and taking the pictures of the people rather than the machines. And I just want to show you this because actually it's another possibly marketing tool, or maybe I want your advice at the end of this. Which video you think promotes us as a business better, and which ones you think would attract new talent better. So this is just a snapshot of all the photographs of all the job roles that we have. So actually I'm going to be using this now in a lot of my talks to schools, because there's every job under the sun in every business. You know, there's marketing, there's drivers, there's inspectors, there's tech people, there's systems engineers, but there's also labourers and CNC setters. So sharing all those job roles with future students where they don't know where they want to go, I think is really valuable. But it shows a snapshot of the people. Maintenance. Thank you. So it's really interesting how that marketing, I stopped taking pictures of all the machines, started taking more pictures of the people. And only probably you can tell me what promotes us better, but certainly a proud parent, so I know which one I prefer. But it's not just about what you do and how you behave, actually it's got to come down to some bottom line results as well. So, we're very proud, our absence rate is fairly low. Our safety record, we try and promote a questioning attitude. People learn by making mistakes, so we need them to come forward with A hazards and identify them to fix them, and making sure that they question things that we do because we could be doing it better. Stability, like I said, we've got under 1% staff turnover, so it's also a problem because I don't ever have anyone that leaves of their own free choice. But it's really helpful keeping a solid base team. The Net Promoter Score, obviously that engagement, but also sustainability. 70% of our apprentices actually stay with us at the end of their apprenticeship, so actually we're quite proud of that too. And you will train and they will go on elsewhere, and actually that should be celebrated as well because they still have achieved a good certificate. Staff, flexibility, teamwork. Sometimes we do need to pull out the stops. We've got to get that contract out. We've got to work the weekends. Work Saturdays, Sundays, overtime. And actually, we do have a core amount of team that do that really well for us. The recruitment costs speak for themselves. Obviously, we save that money. But also, talking about that local reputation. So I'm now always, I do a lot of promotion when we're recruiting apprentices because actually it's less about, engaging with young people, but actually we need to show ourselves off as much as they're showing themselves off to us because we want them to choose us. So it's all about selling business and how it feels to work here. But thank you very much for listening. I'm very proud of everyone in this room, so thank you very much for asking me to speak, Jim. And it's now part time, I think. Thank you.
1 minute.
Thank you very much indeed, Karen. Lots of really interesting ideas.